Okay, so now I am on page 236 of the book. So just so you can see this, you can go to page 236. So the way we can get reactions to produce electricity is through using batteries. So they just use chemical reactions to make electricity. Now I'm going to explain to you a little bit about how a battery works. So I'm going to use this picture down here. Okay, we just learned about oxidation and reduction reactions. In a battery, you have two compartments basically. One compartment has an oxidation going on, the other compartment has a reduction going on. So in this case, copper is going to be oxidized. So it's going to lose an electron, and silver is going to be reduced. So it's going to gain an electron. You can see that over here. Copper is going to be oxidized, silver is going to be reduced. The place where oxidation happens is called the anode. Okay, so that's the anode. This is the cathode. And on the next page, we have the definitions of anode and cathode. So the electrode where reduction occurs and electrons are gained is called the cathode. The electrode where oxidation occurs and the electrons are lost is called the anode. So an easy way, hopefully, to remember this is another mnemonic. You can remember an, ox, so just like the animal, an, ox. An is like anode, and ox is like oxidation. So oxidation happens at the anode. For cathode, you can remember red, cat. So red is for reduction, cat is for cathode. So reduction happens at the cathode. I'm going to look back at this picture. What's going to happen is oxidation is going to occur here. The copper, this is just a bar of copper metal. So this copper anode is going to lose an electron. That electron is going to flow through this wire, and eventually it's going to flow back through to the cathode, and reduction will happen. So you need to remember that electrons always flow from the anode to the cathode. Okay, so it says that right here, so you're going to highlight this. Electrons will always move from the anode to the cathode. Okay, now when these electrons are flowing, sometimes the charge gets unbalanced. So we have this thing called the salt bridge that just exists to balance the charge. For now, that's all you need to know about it. You can just write in that the salt bridge exists to balance the charge. Okay, between the anode and the cathode. Now I'm going to post one more video that kind of gives you a visual animation of what happens when a battery runs, when electrons run through this wire, and a little bit more about why you need the salt bridge. So you can watch that if you feel like you need some more help on this. But that's everything you need to know for this quiz. So remember, oxidation happens at the anode, an-ox. Reduction happens at the cathode, red cat. The electrons flow from the anode to the cathode always. And the salt bridge exists to balance the charge. And then of course remember from the last video, oxidation is loss of electrons and reduction is gain of electrons. So good luck on the quiz and the assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.